Okay, in this sixth of the tutorials, let's look at how dictionary works. We have looked at arrays, how the array works. Now let's look at dictionaries. Dictionaries are primarily meant to uh, access dialogues for a scene specifically. So to declare a dictionary, we will say dict, whereas arrays can be used in multiple other scenarios, but dictionaries are only meant for dialogues. So, so we need to create this new file. So the methodology is also the same. You specify as dict and variable name and then load file. You cannot load the arrays or dictionaries during runtime. This is only at the compile time. Everything is loaded into the array or dictionary. However, you can modify the arrays, and you must remember dictionaries are immutable. Dictionaries are immutable. That means you cannot change the dictionary content, you cannot add any element to it, you cannot remove any element from it. Whereas arrays, in arrays, you can do that modification. You can also find the size of arrays during runtime. In spite of that, you cannot load the arrays also at runtime. You can either statically initialize them or load them from a file, but you can also access them to modify the arrays. Dictionaries are immutable. You need to understand that. So let's add one more file, a dialog file. This is the name we gave. The extension is automatically added. So let's say we have integers two characters, Ajay. We have integers two characters, Amit and Jitu, and we will use the same characters in our new dialogues also. So we will say intro scene. So we will give a name to this set of dialogues that will happen. So Amit says, uh, we will use the characters also in this scene. So let's say we will use Bob here instead, because if you look at the foregrounds, we have pulled two images, Rita and Bob. So we will use those names here. And then we will go back to scripts first and then name it as char1 as Bob, char2 as Rita. So we will use these names and then come back to dialogues. So this is Bob. Char1 is Bob. So this is mutual introduction. How are you? And then char1 asks, would you like to go to a movie? And char2 says, of course, I would love to. Which one? Char1 says, let us go and decide at the mall. So they will go to the mall. So at the mall. So there are two keys. You can see that there is at mall is one key and intro scene is one key. So at mall. So there are two options now. Which one do you choose? Care2 says, what are the options? Now you need to show a menu there. What are the two movie options at the mall? So you'll have to go to a mall and then show two options. So we'll close the discussion there and open a new discussion at the mall too. And then, so char1 again says, the following, here there are. Choose one. Okay. And Katu says, I will go with the movie name. So this is the selected movie name. All right, that's a great choice. What is good? Okay, so this much is written. Now, movie name is the variable that we introduced here. Let's declare that here in the var's description file. The movie name, var movie name equals empty. I declared it as empty. Now I will also have to initialize the movie name. I will show you how to create a menu here. Movie choice. I give the name as movie choice, and menu item is, so this is the first movie name, and when this item is clicked, I will set as, and another menu item is some other movie, triple R. So there is some indentation problem, but you can do away with it. Movie name equals RRR, right? And end menu. So this is the movie choice is the menu name that you have created. You'll have to call this menu name. So let's also look at one more time the dialogues. So there is intro scene at the mall, at mall 2. Intro scene is the first one. Okay. Now we'll go to the main. In the scene, Bob appears here, and then first thing that happens here is intro scene. So you'll have to use the dictionary here. What is the dictionary name? Dict, DLGS. And intro scene is the key name that happens here, right? That is the first thing that happens. And then in the second scene, what we do is we go to the mall. Let's assume the background is mall background. And then again, Bob's standing to, we just give a new variant, appears at L2. Rita standing to appears at R3. And then at mall happens. After this, you'll throw the menu, show menu, this one, and then if, go back to where's the movie name. If, I don't think you need a if here, you just have to show text CLGS at mall 2. That's all you need to do. And then you perhaps go to a different background. You'll set a different background, maybe a movie background that you want to pick up from somewhere. So I assume that this is a movie background. Okay. So I keep my cursor here and double click here. Movie comes here. I don't want to continue. I just want to give you a static message. This is the movie name, movie choice. Movie. Is that movie name? I hope so. It's movie name. So it's movie name. So let's run this and see what happens. And then we'll have to make these two people disappear and then exit. So these two people have appeared. So Bob says, "Hey Rita, how are you? I'm good. How are you, Bob? Would you like to go to a movie? And of course, I would love which one. Let us go and decide at the mall." So they go to the mall. Appear. There are two options. Which one do you choose? What are the options? Here, there. choose from. So there is Bahubali and RRR. So let's click one of them. Bahubali. I'll go with Bahubali. All right, that's a great choice. Let's go. And the background is here. This is the movie named Bahubali. Now, this is wonderful, isn't it? So that is how you access your dialogues. You present your characters and above which you can put your dialogues over. All right, thanks for watching this tutorial that is all about dictionaries. You cannot uh, you cannot modify the dictionaries nor clear the dictionaries. You can do it with arrays. I will show you in the next tutorial.